And once you start to look internal and actually decipher who you are as a person, you can create greatness. And I'm a living example of that.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. It's your boy Tap Dubb, and I'm back with another episode of the Tap Podcast. And I got my boy with me, the one and only
RNE Nique.
RNE Tap motherfucking Nique, boy. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. What about you?
I'm feeling so tapped. I'm feeling euphoric. We coming out of Top of the Lake Takeover yesterday. You know that motherfucker was amazing.
My brain's still somewhere on the floor there.
Yeah, I feel you. I was feeling so tapped yesterday. I woke up and I was still tapped. I think I overboard tapped. Is
You
that
might
a thing?
have. I don't know. Is it?
You can't be too tapped.
You can't.
I don't think so. So maybe it was just right.
Yeah, I like that.
I like
Sound
that
about
too.
right.
I like that. So what's up with the people out there, man? As y'all know, we back with another episode. This one is going to be a little bit of a different flow than we normally do. So we're going to come in and play a little bit of a game. I guess I coined the name Either Or. So we're going to go back and forth and present two things, and then we have to choose between those two things, and then I guess we can explain why we chose them. And after that, we will get into some more serious topics, because when it's Tap Dubb and RNE Nique on the same podcast, we like to get deep.
Yeah.
We like to cut deep like surgeons.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
I've been coming with bars.
You've been on the road the whole weekend.
I don't know
though.
what's going on. I don't know what that is. I need to get back in the booth.
I've been telling you that.
You have.
Yes.
You have. Well, without further ado, let's get into our game right quick. And I feel like since I'm Dubb, I gotta go second. So I think you should start it off.
Okay. Let's get it. First question. Dubb.
Talk to me.
Fame or notoriety?
Ooh, fame or notoriety? I think I am going to go with fame, because usually with notoriety, I kind of get like a lot of the negative things with notoriety. A lot of people are notarized for it's a lot of like criminals who are notarized, you know what I mean? And a lot of people in history who got like ill notoriety, which I believe, I don't know the real, like the full Webster's definition, of notoriety. But usually from my experience, it comes with like a negative connotation with it. Now, I might be wrong about that. So I believe fame kind of has like a more positive one. So I'll go with being famous. And that's why I chose.
Okay.
Was famous. Now, is notoriety like negative, or am I just
not necessarily. It all would depend on the person. Notoriety is actually being known for what you've done, and fame is more so being known for who you are.
Oh, see, so with the definition, for who I am or what I've done, can I get photoriety?
Ooh. You want both?
I want both of them, bro.
I guess that'll work.
Would that work?
Famoriety.
All right, just for the game, since I had to pick one, I go famous. But I think we created a new thing right there. I'm searching for photoriety.
That's a whole new genre.
That's tap right there.
Indeed.
All right, so RNE Nique, man.
Yes,
super
sir.
speed or super strength?
Super speed.
Why super speed?
Because, man, I got to be able to get there when I need to get there. I would definitely take the speed. But don't get me wrong. The strength is core too. But I feel like if you are strong, you can't be that fast. If you can be fast, you can acquire strength easily.
So you gonna increase your workouts, go harder, and
Yeah.
then next thing you know, you just buff as fuck.
Yeah,
Looking Brent Eder out of nowhere.
Yeah, Buff Eder. Shout out Brent.
Shout out my boy.
You
I like
get it.
that. I like that. So talk to me. What's you got? Another
Okay. Now this one, this probably gonna hit a little deep.
Talk to me.
Alone or surrounded?
Ooh. This one is alone or surrounded. I'm gonna have to go surrounded, but I'm gonna put a little bit of parameters on it. So I want to be surrounded by tapped energy. I want to be surrounded by positive people, because being surrounded by negative energy or ill energy is very draining. It's extremely draining.
Yes.
And I'm not just speaking to say that, I'm speaking from experience. Hence the reason why I'm so militant about my circle. I'm so militant about the tappers and the energy that we bring. So I would rather be surrounded. I'm the type of person, I used to be very antisocial. My nickname, actually, I don't know if you know, used to be Keep It Silent. So I used to always like try to avoid conversation. I used to try to avoid talking, try to avoid being around people. But ever since I've changed and matured and grown up, I actually love people. I love y'all. I love, especially my melanated people and my melanated queens out there. Y'all know I love y'all. If I had a choice, I'd just be surrounded by like 10 melanated beautiful.
I knew you was about to come with that.
You know me, man.
I do.
You know me. So I had to go surrounded, but that was a good one. Let me follow up with another good one. RNE Nique.
Yes.
The moon or the stars? Got you thinking over there. Talk to me.
The moon.
Why so the moon?
Not only my EP, Moon Music.
Moon Music.
Not
Okay.
only
Okay.
that,
Okay.
But
Little leak right there.
I feel like if you reach the moon, at that point the stars are not far from distance. At that point, if I'm on the stars, I might pass the moon. I like to have it all. So I get on that moon, you best believe I'm gonna get me a star. So
I like that one. I like that one. I didn't think about it like that. So you see the moon. If you make it to the moon, that's like a foundation.
Yes.
So if you done made it that far, the stars is just a hand grab away or arms length away.
yes.
Type. I like this one. I think we
I
about to
do
do
too.
this a lot.
Yeah. I got one for you.
Talk to me.
Harder or smarter?
Harder or smarter? Oh, harder. Oh.
And that's in all aspects. Work, love,
Ooh. I'ma go.
friendships.
I think I feel like a lot of people would choose smarter, but I think I'm gonna go harder, and I'm gonna explain why.
Man,
Because
talk to me.
shout out my boy Art Williams. He was talking about he said some stuff, and this is like a paraphrase on the actual quote, but he said something like, smart people don't really get around to doing much because they always thinking theories and they thinking too much and not acting. But if I'm just going hard all the time, even if I'm not a smart guy, I'm gonna get it because I'm relentless. I'm gonna have a relentless tenacity and a relentless work ethic to achieve anything that I put my mind to. And that outweighs any type of genius that anybody could have. So I go with harder.
I thought I had him, y'all. That was a great answer.
Thank you, my top brother. I told
That
you,
was
I've been,
great.
man, just to like put this out there, I've been eager to do a podcast, boy. I haven't been on the last like 3-4 episodes. I've been letting the host take over. So it's time for Dubb to get back in the hot seat. And I got so many gems to share with you guys because every day I'm growing. Every day I'm learning some new stuff. So yeah, I was waiting for this, man.
Gotta get that
I was
rack
waiting for
in.
this. So that was your last one, correct?
Yep.
Cool. So let me shoot you my last one. This is a fun one too. So Chloe Bailey or Haley Bailey?
Haley.
Haley, why Haley?
Chloe, if you ever see this, it's nothing personal, but I'm one for the good girls. I feel like Haley would just compliment my essence more. It's the type of man I am. Like, she just seems a lot more delicate, whole lot more reservative versus to, Chloe, she's very persevering and she's not shy, which I don't have a problem with at all. But like I said, to compliment me, I would have to go with Haley.
Okay, then. And then obviously we don't know them personally or nothing like that. So this is more so like your assumptions from just being an external source and what you dive into between both of those individuals.
Yes.
Cool. Since we on this topic, did you see The Little Mermaid?
No, I didn't.
You haven't yet?
No, did you see it?
I did.
You did?
Man, we suck.
We
suck.
did. We might need to have to make that. That might have to be a thing.
Seeing a melanated queen on stage or on a movie like that's right up my alley. So all right, Haley Bailey, that's pretty dope. Either one was a good choice, honestly.
Yeah, they both are great women.
Either or, they both melanated queens. All right, so that concludes the either or section. I ain't gonna lie, that was a fun little section.
That was.
And I think we're gonna bring that back for some future episodes.
Yes.
But now, man, let's get into the nitty gritty, the stuff that the people come here for, that tapped essence, that what is it, the art is practically perfect, that type stuff. So in this specific episode, me and RNE Nique are going to dive a little bit deeper on self-recognition and looking internal before you look external. The importance of looking inside, because what's inside will ultimately radiate on the outside. So let's start with that first. and then we'll go into self-recognition because I feel like it's a perfect segue.
Let's
go
do
that
it.
way too as well.
I agree.
So I'll start it off since I'm already spitting my piece and I was eager to say it anyway. But just over the course of I like to call it my tap journey. When I was growing up, I would always look for external sources as to why my problems existed, whether it be my mom not being around, or whether it be and not that these things don't play a factor on who I am, but a lot of times we don't look internal, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So whether it be factors like what my friends are doing or what my friends want me to do, whether it's what the school want me to do, whether it's what society want me to do, or what society has put on me, my situation, my past, my future, and even my present, I would kind of look external on all those things to create what was internal for me. And I really didn't know myself. Growing up as a teenager, I really didn't know myself. So I can say from like November of 2021-ish, or a little bit before that, I started to do this thing. Actually, it was July of 2021. I started this lovely thing called Tapped. And originally it was Tap Podcast and not Tapped Entertainment. Fun fact for the viewers out there, it didn't start off as Tapped Entertainment. It was originally just a podcast. And I started to actually look more internal and realize what I like to do. So I love music. I've always loved music since I was young. I love connecting and having good conversations with people. I love getting, let's say, educated, or at least people. I like getting different people together and being able to pick their brain. So I'm like, how can I make what I love to do internally and profit off of it, or even more so than profit off of it, just kind of like enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I took what I was good at internally and I brought it to an external source with the podcast. So not only is this a podcast, this is a extension of who Dubb actually is inside. So but it, like I said, it took a while to get to that epiphany because it was a lot of external sources that was against me, like just society and stuff like that. And like I was saying earlier when I was getting ahead of myself, like those external sources do play a factor on you, like society, things and stuff that you can't really control, social media, programming, chemical castration, the food, and all those different things which steer you away from what's internal. But sometimes you have to pause, freeze, and actually look at yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And see what you like to do, because if you don't do that, you'll be on a wild goose chase for the rest of your life. And once you start to look internal and actually decipher who you are as a person, you can create greatness. And I'm a living example of that. So as the Tap Podcast started to grow, I realized that I wasn't just proficient at speaking. I was proficient at getting people together. I was proficient at organizing. I was proficient at speaking, you know, and that's why Tap Podcast turned into Tap Entertainment.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
When you first did look eternal and you figured out, okay, this is who Dubb is and this is what Dubb wants to do, did you, or I know you did actually, so I'm going to ask you, what goals did you set for yourself to get to where this is where I need to be, and then after that, this is where I'm going to be? But what were some of your first goals, like your baby step goals?
That's a great question, RNE Nique. And some of the baby goals was, when I first started, was to just do it. Because a lot of people, they try to plan out everything. They try to, I need this to start. I need this equipment. I need my boy with me. I need this amount of money. I need this amount of clothes to be on camera. I need to go get a haircut. You see how I'm rocking right now. You feel me? And I embrace it. But to just do it, man. No more talking. Just do it. Because once you do it, you finally have a foundation to build on. So now, you know, we got our first episode done. I rewatch it. Ooh, I didn't like how that angle looked. Ooh, I didn't like how my collar was flipped a certain type of way. Ooh, I didn't like how the audio sounded. So at least we have something to build off of, a foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's all from the action of just want to do it, or just doing it. It's a lot of people that want to do it, but they thinking about it too much. Hence what I was saying earlier about smart people. Smart people don't really get around to doing much. But hard-working people and people who got initiative, they actually have a foundation, you know what I'm saying, to build off of. So that is the power of looking internally from my standpoint. And I'm gonna let you tell your story about if you had like an epiphany or an internal moment inside of your story, and then what we can do is transition into how we can help people find their help them look internal, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So talk to us.
I actually agree with you on that. Coming back to it all starting with self, looking internally. Similar to you, growing up, I didn't really know who I was. I thought I knew who I was, especially for how I lived in my life. I lived it the same way for such a long time.
Let me do you a favor right quick, brother. I'm about to grab this dread. You know, your dread famous for getting stuck in the beard.
Yes.
Yeah, I felt that, boy.
But yes, I was always in the house, mostly gaming.
Right.
Other than that, I didn't really do much, to the point where I didn't even attend public school going into high school.
Oh, so you was homeschooled?
Yes, from 7th up until the 12th grade.
God damn.
Yeah, no high school experience
You missed a lot of your social life with that one, man.
And that's hence why I always thought I was antisocial. But I'd say about 6-7 months ago, that all changed for me. As you know, I started figuring out really more about myself and started figuring out who I was, what I liked, what I didn't like. I figured out a whole lot about myself, to the point where I'm completely opposite as to who I thought I was. And I feel like I portrayed myself that way because, like you said, it's eternal. But you can want it to be external. I wanted to blame my mom. Internal?
Yeah, because, you know, eternal meaning it lasts forever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm big
That's
on
my
words.
mistake. Internal. I wanted it to be external. I wanted to blame my mom for this. I wanted to blame my grandma for this. But in reality, it was just me. I got so comfortable in my shell, I didn't want to come out. I'm like, the outside is not for me. I'm cool in my shell, and you can't crack my shell. Until I realized that I didn't like being in my shell anymore. I never liked being in my shell. I didn't understand it until I actually came out, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing out here. There's so much to do, so much to experience, so many different energies to come across, just a whole lot that I was missing. So when it came for me to looking into myself internal, it changed a lot of my habits, what I started putting into my body, who I was around, even to who I was giving my time to. Simple. Even if I'm not around you, you can't even get a conversation out of me nowadays if I don't feel it's worth my energy. I've just been really trying to work on myself in that matter, as far as really my space. My main thing as far as my internal work would be my space, because if your external is dirty, it's going to be almost impossible for your internal to be clean.
Heard you, tap.
So I had to cleanse my external in order to start working on my internal. Which leads me to a question for you.
Talk to me.
Have you ever had to cut off anyone that was a little too close to you to where it hurt you?
Yes, on several occasions. And every time I talk about this, it kind of brings me like I got a PTSD to it. Because I've had to cut off a lot of individuals who was close to me for various reasons. But the main reason, or the main thing that I always come down to, is because they were failing to grow, or in other words, they were failing to look internal. And do better themselves. And people always think like, or let me say it like this: people hate sticking out stuff in the beginning. Like, for instance, with the podcast, it's all cool and stuff when you get a lot of shares and a lot of people liking it, but you got to stick it out during the hard days. When nobody's sharing, or when you don't got no producer, so you got to do an episode yourself, or when you know you tired and you still need to shoot. People would rather, like, instead of having a that relentless tenacity that I was talking about, they'd rather jump ship or go somewhere else because they think it'll be easier. No, nothing comes easy. I got a quote for you that my boy Brack said. He said, "The grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it." The grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, where you put attention to it, where you take care of it.
Yes, where
and
you show
I feel
love.
like, exactly. So to answer your question, yes, I have. And hell, I didn't even had to like distance myself from my own mom at times. For her for her not being on, like, I'm not gonna say on my level or nothing like that, but like
Not wanting to be better.
Yeah, not exactly. Not wanting to be better, and that's damaging. You can have all the love in the world for somebody, but if they don't want to grow, if they don't want to see you do better or help you do better, then that's something that you have to cut off. And I've had to cut off no matter who it was. It's no, honestly, like I'm unapologetically about growth and advancement. So
Yes.
I've had to have a lot of uncomfortable breakoffs with people, friends, family, pretty much. I don't. It don't matter who it is. If the dog ain't trying to advance, I cut the dog off.
Gotta go.
Nah, but so yeah, I have had a lot of external breakups, but all that did was increase me internally, because like you said a few seconds ago, if your external ain't right, then your internal can't be right.
Yes.
Hence the reason why the tap circle was so tight. And I feel like you asked that question because you went through it too.
Yes.
So can you speak on a time when you've had to do that?
Actually, this year, a lot of it happened this year. I had to get rid of some of my closest friends, even family, myself, because I don't have time for it. And it's going to dawn on me. I'm a big energy person. Not saying I am who I'm around, but it's easy for me to get sucked into things, which is why I try to tend to keep myself around the best frequencies that I can, really.
Right.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't want to do the work. When it comes to being or looking internal, everyone, even if they say they don't or can't comprehend the subject that we're talking about, everyone reflects on themselves. You know your flaws. It's like when you go out and if someone tells you musty and it offends you, that's because you knew you was musty first and you thought no one would notice. And somebody called you out on it. So now everybody know you musty. It goes the same with having bad energy or just overall not being a good person.
Yeah.
You know you're a messed up person or you're not doing what you're supposed to do before anybody else will. So once I started calling certain people out on that, it kind of made them shy away from me. And I'm like, dang, I just kind of like, I want you to be better. Like, I'm not criticizing you. I'm not downplaying you. I really genuinely just want better for you. Like, I want better for myself. I don't want to have to get rid of you. That's why I'm trying to build you so I can keep you around. But you can't do that with everybody. Right. Some people just, they'd rather be where they are, you know, and you got to leave them to it until... What they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And I led many horses to water, but they weren't thirsty, I guess. So I jumped in the pool alone.
Damn. Ooh-wee.
Like that one.
Ooh-wee, Nique. Oh, God. Okay. So, I like that. So I feel like this is the perfect segue into how we can, let's drop a couple gems and, because we were already starting it, but let's drop a couple more gems on how people can help their internal, help to look inside so they can grow and they can have these epiphanies and these life-changing moments like us, okay?
Let me take you up on that.
Go ahead, brother.
I think that starts with self-recognition.
Segue.
A lot of the times we tend to try to rush ourselves with, especially societal standards, with the social medias we have access to, the celebrities that we tend to idolize. We feel we're not doing enough at our age. You know, I'm 20 years old, but I see other 20-year-olds who got Hellcats and Trackhawks and they got their own condo in LA. And it's like, it'll make me feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, when in reality, I'm actually doing a lot more than a lot people my age are doing. You know, like I said, we can ask our grandparents, what were you doing at 20? Ask my mom, what were you doing at 20? And you will find out you're actually doing better than pretty much your whole generation of family members.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like it's important for us to take a step back and really reflect on what we're doing and how fast we're doing it. Like you reflect on yourself right now.
I can. And sometimes I'm always caught up in working 24/7 or what's the next idea, what's the next motion, what's the next event, what's the next thing I can do. And I'm a victim of it too. I fail to give myself recognition. And once I sit back, I'm 23, melanated king, got a beautiful daughter, got a beautiful business, been self-employed for almost 2 years. Done empowered a lot of people to just do better within their life. And although I'm not selling out arenas like Rolling Loud or anything like that, we had a pretty dope damn showcase last night.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All funded by us, all planned by us. all the artists booked by us. So if I take a step back and I look at people like 23-year-olds, a lot of them are still like trying to figure themselves out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I'm so caught up in me being the actual, like me living it currently, that I don't ever take a step back. I had an analogy earlier that I was telling Naquan and you. I was like, if you in a house fire, or if your house on fire and you in a bedroom, and the other room on fire, you might not see the smoke, you might not see the fire. But if I'm outside, I might see the smoke.
Yes.
Because I'm outside looking in, but you inside. So sometimes you gotta be the person outside looking in, even if it's yourself. You know what I mean? Me versus me, like Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Shout out my boy RNE Nique on that one.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Just taking a step back sometimes, being able to breathe and realize what I've accomplished. Because I'm the type of person, and it's a good trait to always want more and always want to advance and things like that. I'm not saying that that's not a good trait, but honestly, if you're not giving yourself your flowers and you're not taking a sec to take everything in and ride the euphoria of it, then honestly, that's not a life to live either. Cause you gotta reap the benefits of your own labor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's definitely a good way to advance like the internal inside of you. I feel like another good way is to try to find out who you are, because a lot of people don't know who they are. They think they know who they are, but they don't, and that comes with trying new things.
Yes.
I always recommend people, whenever I talk to new people, I'd be like, why don't you just try like watch an opera, watch a 70s movie, watch a black and white movie, try golf, try discus, you know, the one where they throw it real far.
Yeah.
You might be a hell of a discus player, you know what I mean? But if you don't try it, then you don't really know what you like. And a lot of people be stuck on their phones, a lot of people be stuck in what they grew up doing. Be afraid to don't be afraid to try some new shit, because that'll help your internal, like, damn, I didn't even know I like that. So now I got a new passion and a new thing to keep me alive and to keep me running and to keep this engine fueled.
People are afraid of change. Mm-hmm. That's a common tendency, especially in our community, with a lot of us being raised the same way or within the same standards. We tend to carry these habits and these expectations with us our entire lives. You know, my grandma is 64 years old and she still is stuck in ways that she was raised, and it's like,
it's kind of heartbreaking, honestly.
it really is heartbreaking, because it's like, I don't want to say it's too late, but genuinely it is. She's already 64. You know, she knows what she knows, and that's her way of living. That's how she's always lived.
Right. It's gonna be hard to break her out of her matrix.
Yes.
60 years of it is a long time.
Very long time.
Not impossible, but it's gonna be extremely hard.
It would be hard.
So, do you have any other points to help anybody look internal before I kind of move into the last section? And I'm gonna wait to announce it right quick. I'm waiting to announce it.
Look eternal. Don't be afraid to do the work, and don't be afraid to admit that you have issues. You know, do not try to compensate yourself with excuses. It's okay that I have a problem with this. I'm struggling with this. I need to do better with this, because we all have struggles. And don't be afraid to talk to people about your struggles. You will be surprised that your brother going through the same thing. So no matter what, communicate and elevate.
I'm loving that. What a tapped episode this has been thus far. It's not over just yet. I do want to kind of have each of us kind of I guess talk about recent euphoria that we felt from looking internal. I know we kind of have, but what's like the most major euphoria that you felt from looking internal within the last, let's say, month?
My habits, my change of habits.
Okay. And why that?
As I stated before, I'm 20 years old. When I first turned 18, I was introduced to THC or weed, and I had never smoked. Never even really wanted
that's crazy.
to.
You only got 2 years in. I was smoking since I was like 12, 13. That's horrible. I'm 23 now, so that's horrible.
More than half my life.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really been into it, but when I started doing it, I kind of was just doing it because other people were doing it. And it became a habit that I thought I couldn't shake. But once I actually told myself, like, okay, this is a problem, and I knew it was a problem because it started eating into my finances. And I'm a big finance person. I love to save my money. I love having money.
The bud had munchies, but the munchies was your money.
Yes, yes.
It wasn't just giving you money.
Yes, it was my money, and that's not okay with me. It's not okay with me at all. I don't like feeling like anything has control over me or compelling me. Another one of my habits was what I was putting into my body. I figured out I was addicted to seasonings, not texture nor flesh. So I'm able to work around that and still have my cake and eat it too. Enjoy my food, and it enlightened me at the same time. It gives me life. So living to eat instead, like,
Or
that's
eating
just
to
not
live.
I was about to turn it around.
Yeah.
That's not the way to go.
Yeah.
But more so eating to live, because at first I was kind of living to eat.
Oh, damn. See, that went over my head. I'm with you.
I was living to eat, but now I eat to live. So it helps me make decisions on what I'm doing to myself and putting in my body. So what about you? What are some of yours?
My most recent euphoric moment of looking internal was probably I have a lot of them, but like if I go with the one of the more recent ones is the fact that I don't really, and it's gonna sound like egotistical in a sense, but I have good intentions behind it, but I don't really need anybody.
I knew that was coming.
You know,
I did.
You knew it was coming.
I did.
I don't really need anybody for my success because I am going to get the job done no matter what. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. Even if I got to if I'm not on my deathbed, if my what you call it with that beep? What's the thing that beep when you what is it?
It's like I forgot what it's called.
Think in the hospital that beep.
Yeah, the
Heart monitor. If my heart monitor ain't beeping and it
Yeah.
ain't about to give me the
flat line.
Yeah, exactly. If it ain't about the flat line, then I got enough energy to make this shit happen.
I don't think that's egotistical at all. You just
think so?
truly believe in yourself and you know what you're capable of.
I truly trust my own intuition and my hard work. And so my circle is just a bonus or a plus to the success that was already going to happen. Like you said earlier, alone or surrounded, I can still do it alone. How do it keep coming back? This
Because it
wow.
comes back to self.
Wow. So alone or surrounded, I could do it alone for sure.
Yes.
Now there's, I could do it alone, but it'd just be more cool if I was surrounded by other people and we can grow together. But I don't rely on anybody but myself. And I said something to you a long time ago. Shit, I almost cut myself off one time.
I was tripping.
Yeah, cause that guy was tripping. I had a one-on-one like, hey, bruh, if you don't get it together, I'm about to cut you off. The old me. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, and that's why I say it a lot. And a lot of people would take that as an egotistical thing, but it really is not. Like you said,
I think you did cut him off. Since I met you, I've seen your growth, and you are not the same Dubb that I met when I was first introduced into tap.
Thank you. Like I said earlier, I just try to continue to grow. I try to continue to fill myself with knowledge, and that is the reason why we are. And same with you. That's the reason why we are so internally strong. And I think that concludes this message very well, my boy.
Yes.
How you feel about this episode?
I feel like this was a great episode.
Man,
This is a gem episode, honestly.
it is. I can't wait to get back and edit this one and release this one to the people because I feel like they need this. So you got any last minute advice, any last things that you want to shout out before I conclude the episode? Anything? What's up with Nique? What's coming up with Nique?
Be on the lookout for my EP, Moon Music. I'm going to roll out a couple more songs.
Okay.
But I do have a mid-July, that's all I'll say. Mid-July is my goal to when I want to drop it. That's for a message. Love yourself. Work on yourself. And if you can, help the others around you. We just got back from doing some community service. Always pour into your community because who else is going to do it, So
Right.
Be the person that does it.
I'm loving it. I guess I'll go with what I got coming up next. Cosplay kickback this Friday. I'm gonna say the date, June 17th, because I don't know when this will be released. June 17th. So we about to nerd out. We about to have fun on that. We got the Tap Field Day coming up here shortly. I ain't gonna drop the date because I haven't dropped the flyer and I don't wanna, it might get adjusted. We have the Tap Bonfire coming up. We have a Tap Hiking Heels trip part 2. And we have a Tap sleepover and pajama party. So
I'm excited.
I ain't gonna lie. I probably wasn't even supposed to leak that one.
You probably should have said that
about
that one. But
just
hey.
know that's about to be one of them ones, and it's gonna be invite only. Because if you know Tap, I ain't gonna say too much.
Yeah,
but let me leave
know,
him with
you
a
know.
quote. Let me leave him with a quote. I got a lot of quotes. Which one do I want to leave him with, Nique? All right, I got one.
Okay, what you got?
So I believe I forgot where this quote exactly came from. This is not my quote. It is from, I got it from Les Brown, the Living Your Dreams book that I had gave you that you got right now. You liking that book so far?
I am.
Okay, cool. And you're gonna eventually come to this quote. So he says, I believe that living on the edge, living in and through your fear, is the summit of life, and that people who refuse to take that dare condemn themselves to a life of living death. Let me say that again because I butchered that pretty bad. I believe that living on the edge, living in and through your fear, is the summit of life, and that people who refuse to take that dare condemn themselves to a life of living death.
That's a perfect way to end this episode.
So with that being said, my name is Tap Dubb. I'm here with
RNE Nique.
And this is another successful episode of the Tap Podcast. I love y'all out there. Stay tapped and peace.
Payments no playing, we heard you was slacking, and I get that front end, back end, back end. I got your bitch trying to tap in, tap in. I made that bitch.